The National Electrical Code addresses the scenario of running circuits from different power sources, such as a normal power panel and an emergency power panel, within the same conduit. The code generally prohibits this practice due to potential safety hazards. Specifically, the National Electrical Code states that circuits of different voltages except as permitted in 210.8, CN 210.19, A4 and 210.19, A5 shall not occupy the same raceway, cable, or enclosure. Furthermore, the National Electrical Code also states that emergency circuits and normal circuits shall not occupy the same raceway, cable, or enclosure. The primary reason for this separation is to prevent the mixing of different voltage levels or power sources, which could create several dangerous situations. Firstly, the presence of different voltage levels in the same conduit increases the risk of insulation breakdown. If the insulation on one conductor fails, it could come into contact with a conductor of a different voltage, leading to a short circuit or ground fault. This could result in overheating, arcing, and potentially a fire. Secondly, mixing normal and emergency circuits can compromise the reliability of the emergency power system. Emergency systems are designed to provide power during outages or other critical events. If a fault occurs in the normal power circuit within the shared conduit, it could potentially affect the emergency circuit, rendering it inoperable when needed most. Thirdly, the potential for crosstalk or electromagnetic interference exists when different circuits are run together in close proximity. This can disrupt the operation of sensitive electronic equipment or communication systems connected to either circuit. Fourthly, in the event of a fault or maintenance activity on one circuit, the presence of another circuit in the same conduit creates an additional hazard for personnel working on the system. They could inadvertently come into contact with a live conductor from the other circuit, resulting in electric shock or electrocution. The exceptions mentioned in 210.8, CN 210.19, A4 and 210.19, A5 of the National Electrical Code relate to specific circumstances where limited mixing of circuits is permitted under strict conditions. It's important to consult the specific requirements outlined in those sections of the code to determine if an exception applies to a particular situation. However, the general rule remains that normal and emergency circuits should be kept separate to ensure safety and reliability. When installing electrical circuits, it's crucial to follow the National Electrical Code guidelines and best practices for separation of different voltage levels and power sources. This includes using separate conduits, raceways, or cable trays for normal and emergency circuits, as well as maintaining adequate separation between conductors of different voltages. Proper labeling and identification of circuits are also essential to prevent confusion and ensure that personnel can safely work on the system. In summary, the National Electrical Code prohibits the mixing of normal and emergency circuits in the same conduit due to the potential for safety hazards such as insulation breakdown, compromised emergency power reliability, electromagnetic interference, and increased risk of electric shock. It's crucial to adhere to these code requirements and follow best practices for electrical installation to ensure a safe and reliable electrical system. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The implications of not adhering to these codes can be severe, potentially leading to electrical fires, equipment damage, or even personal injury. Firstly, electrical fires can result from short circuits or ground faults caused by insulation breakdown when different voltage levels are mixed in the same conduit. These fires can spread quickly and cause extensive damage to property and endanger lives. Secondly, equipment damage can occur due to voltage surges or fluctuations resulting from crosstalk or interference between circuits in the same conduit. Sensitive electronic equipment is particularly vulnerable to these types of disturbances, which can lead to premature failure or malfunction. Thirdly, personal injury or even death can result from electric shock or electrocution if someone comes into contact with a live conductor from a circuit in the same conduit while working on another circuit. The potential for accidental contact is increased when circuits are not properly separated and identified. To ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code and to mitigate these risks, it's essential to follow proper wiring practices and use appropriate materials and methods for electrical installations. This includes using properly sized conductors, installing overcurrent protection devices such as circuit breakers or fuses, and ensuring that all connections are made securely and according to code requirements. Furthermore, it's important to conduct regular inspections and maintenance of electrical systems to identify and address any potential hazards before they can cause problems. This includes checking for damaged insulation, loose connections, and signs of overheating. By taking these precautions and following the National Electrical Code guidelines, it's possible to create a safe and reliable electrical system that protects people and property from electrical hazards. It is also advisable to consult with a qualified electrical engineer, contractor, or inspector to seek clarification on any aspect of the code or electrical safety. They can provide valuable insights and guidance based on their knowledge and experience. The consequences of neglecting electrical safety can be devastating, so it's always better to err on the side of caution and seek expert advice when needed. Moreover, electrical codes and standards are constantly evolving, so it's important to stay up to date on the latest changes and requirements. This can be achieved by attending training courses, reading industry publications, and participating in professional organizations. By staying informed and proactive, electrical professionals can ensure that they are providing the safest and most reliable electrical services possible. The National Electrical Code serves as a comprehensive guide for electrical installations and provides a framework for ensuring electrical safety. While it may seem complex and overwhelming at times, understanding the basic principles and requirements of the code is essential for anyone involved in electrical work. By adhering to the code and following best practices, it's possible to minimize the risks associated with electricity and create a safer environment for everyone. In addition to the specific requirements for separating normal and emergency circuits, the National Electrical Code also addresses other aspects of electrical safety such as grounding, bonding, overcurrent protection, and wiring methods. These provisions are designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards and to ensure that electrical systems operate safely and reliably. Grounding refers to the connection of electrical equipment and systems to the earth, which provides a low impedance path for fault currents to flow back to the source. This helps to prevent voltage buildup on equipment enclosures and reduces the risk of electric shock. Bonding involves connecting metallic parts of electrical systems together to create a continuous electrical path. This helps to equalize voltage potentials and reduces the risk of arcing or sparking in the event of a fault. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to interrupt the flow of current in the event of an overload or short circuit. This helps to prevent overheating and damage to electrical equipment and wiring. Wiring methods refer to the techniques and materials used to install electrical conductors. The National Electrical Code specifies the types of wiring methods that are permitted for different applications and provides guidelines for proper installation. By following these requirements and best practices, it's possible to create an electrical system that is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable codes and regulations. And remember, when in doubt, always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer to ensure that your electrical installation is done correctly and safely. Electrical work should only be performed by qualified individuals who have the necessary training and experience. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from harm. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, and following lockout/tagout procedures to de-energize circuits before working on them. By following these safety guidelines and working diligently, it's possible to minimize the risks associated with electricity and create a safe and productive work environment. Always prioritize safety and never take shortcuts when it comes to electrical work. The consequences of making a mistake can be severe, so it's always better to be cautious and take the time to do things right.